Whether you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home,
Trish Sales ATL can help.
with the current Atlanta real estate market, buyer and seller opportunities are better than ever.
Thank y'all so much, but I'll take it from here. Sellers, this is your market. It's time for you to get off of that fence and put your home on the market and get it sold to my buyers who are waiting for you to list your home. I'd love to earn your business, so please give Trish a call at Keller Williams Realty Buckhead, 404-604-3800,
or text or call 404-819-4495.
Please also visit my website at trishsalesatl.com. Let's talk about how I can assist you with achieving your real estate goals and making your dreams a reality.
List your house with our mommy at trishsalesatl.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your weekly Real Estate Chronicles with Trish Sales ATL. It is Wednesday, and it is time for our Wednesday real estate update. I need you to tag, I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to add somebody that needs some real estate knowledge. If you need some real estate knowledge and you know a few people who need some as well, I need you to tag them right now. I need you to like this post. And the very last thing that I would love for you to do is to share it. Share it with your friends, your family members, people who you know that need this real estate update at this time, y'all. I get on here every week to let you guys know what's going on. And today we are talking credit. So if credit has been your challenge with purchasing a home, I've got my credit specialist and my guru that is coming on today, and I cannot wait for you guys to speak with her or ask your questions and to just get an understanding of what you need to do to get credit ready to purchase a home. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to get everybody on board. I'm going to give you an opportunity to tag, like, and share. I'm going to give you an opportunity to just get everybody on the line so that we can talk about this crazy wild west of a real estate market. It is the wild and the west. So I know you've been hearing some things, and that's why I get on here every week to dispel any myths, any tall tales, any untruths that have been said regarding this market. And as I said today, we are going to talk a great deal about credit, as I have my credit specialist and my guru on, Brianna Savage, who will be with us today. So I'm going to pull up our stats from last week so that we can get started. Tell me something good. Drop in the comments, you guys. Okay, I got Brianna on, but drop in the comments, everybody. Just say hello. Let me know that you can hear me. Say hello. Let me know that you can hear me. And today we're talking credit. So if you signed up, if you RSVP'd, you will automatically enter into the drawing to win an Amazon Echo. You will automatically enter to win an Amazon Echo. So we're going to go through just some of our details really quickly. I want to pull up the stats from last week because we compare and contrast every week when it comes to these market stats so that we can kind of see what the market is doing. We look at numbers. We look at numbers so that we can, kind of see what's going on with the market. I know y'all are hearing some things, but like I said, that's why I get on here every week so that we can just talk real estate. So let me share my screen before I bring Brianna on. You know how we do. I'm going to hit share. And here we have our newsletter for this week. I'm going to drop this in the comments. So if you would like to follow along, Facebook is in the comments. I'm sorry, IG. If you send me your email address, I'll make sure you're on our mailing list. You can email us at info@TrishSalesATL.com or just send me a DM Instagram with your email address, and I'll make sure that you are getting this update. I can't post the link in Instagram, y'all. And you know, Instagram slick won't let us be great. But that's neither here nor there. We are going to get into it and jump straight into business, y'all. So this week, and I'm trying to pull up the stats from last week because I can't really remember it. I mean, I guess I could go to Facebook. But I have a folder that I keep everything in. So that is actually what I'm looking for on my computer. It looks like I got some more files on here that I didn't know about. But anywho, that's my marketing material. Okay, I'm in the folder that I should be in. But we had some big numbers this week, y'all. When I put them in the system, I was like, oh my goodness. So last week was July 19th. So let me pull it over so we can kind of do some stat work, y'all. So these are our numbers for this week. Let me make this a little smaller. We look at numbers. We look at how many homes were on the market. This is from last week. So this week we had 207 new listings to hit the market, y'all. 207 new listings hit the market. Last week, it was 193. This week, we had 345 new contracts. We had 345 new contracts written. That is astronomical. This is just within 1 week. Just 1 week. Just 1 week, okay? For closings, we had 166 closings this week. 166 closings, y'all. Last week, we only had 116. So remember what I told you. I said, I saw a lot of homes coming back on the market. That is one of the reasons why there is an influx of new contracts. We had an astronomical amount of homes to come back on the market. They fell through, whether it was financing, title, whatever the case was. We had an astronomical amount of contracts of homes to come back on the market. Now, from last week to this week, we almost have 100 new contracts. Okay. Then as far as the closings, we had an uptick in those as well. What is happening is, closings were delayed, between title, the lender getting everything in, the closing attorney pulling everything together, making sure everybody gets docs. Those are the things that we work with when it comes to closing a home. So we were dealing with, some slow closings or some delayed closings. So we definitely saw more this week. But the number to watch is the new contracts. I told you guys last week, I'm seeing a lot of homes come back on the market. Hence, now we have all of these new contracts. So buyers, I talked to my buyers and they already know. Hey, keep watching, keep being patient because homes are coming back on the market. So if you were looking before, you couldn't get a home, you couldn't get in, guess what? Now is the time. The market is changing. It is shifting. Sellers, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But go ahead and put your home on the market. But understand, we got homes that have come back on the market. We have home prices being reduced. So I'm telling you, you can get it sold, but it may not be that May, June, and July market. So it would be advantageous to you sellers to get your home. If you've been on the fence, get it on the market as soon as possible. You can call. I'm putting my number up. If you know somebody, if you've been thinking about selling your home, call or text me 404-819-4495. 404-819-4495. Please call or text me so we can talk about your options so that you are prepared for this new market that is emerging, so that you are prepared. And we already know that the appraisers have been very conservative. So that's why I'm saying it would be advantageous to you if you are a seller to get your home on the market effective immediately. Call or text me 404-819-4495. That is my direct cell phone number. You can also email us at info@trishsalesatl.com. The market is changing, guys. So I need you, if you are a seller, to go ahead, and if you know somebody, if you're watching this and you know somebody who's been talking about putting their home on the market, I need you to contact them and let them know they got a small window before those prices start going south. Okay. And we're going to return to a buyer's market. I'm letting you know what the data. I don't come on here with the data every week, just to get on here to do a song and dance. I take an hour to basically meet with you guys to let you know what the market is looking like. I'm letting you know what the market is looking like. So that's why I get on here to help you guys. Today we are talking credit. We're talking credit. I had an RSVP link that was going around, so I'm not sure if you guys signed up for it. But when you sign up at that link, you have the opportunity to win an Amazon Echo. You have the opportunity to win, to enter a drawing to win an Amazon Echo. So I had that going around. We will pull the winner after this live, and I am going to send them their Amazon. I'm going to send you guys your Amazon Echo for signing up and attending this credit webinar. So on to the next. The video from last week is on our YouTube page. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. All you do have to do is type in Trish Sales Atlanta or Trish Sales ATL, and it will come up. It will come up. I'm going to drop the link to this to sign up for this credit webinar. So if you are on Facebook, I'm sorry, Instagram, but it's if you click my link in bio, you'll be able to see it. But I'm going to click the link. I'm going to put the link into the chat on Facebook. So if you want to get signed up and be entered to win the drawing for the Amazon Echo, let me know. I just dropped the link on Facebook. I just dropped it. Instagram, go to my bio. If you click the link in there, hit your weekly real estate update. The link is in there. So moving on. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You can check out all of the videos. If you need to come back, like after we finish talking credit with Brianna, you guys will be able to go back and replay it. So make sure you are tagging folks, liking, and sharing so that they can get some of this great information. Your weekly mortgage update provided to us by Wells Fargo. Michelle Preston is my lender partner over at Wells Fargo, and she has some good stuff, y'all. As you can see in the very first chart, our mortgage rates are dropping. They're dropping even further than what they were. So the mortgage rates fell 10 basis points to 2.78 during the week ending July 22nd. And Freddie Mac's weekly survey of a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. This is the lowest weekly average since the first half of February. So buyers, now is the time for you to go get your pre-approval. Now is the time, buyers. Go ahead and get your pre-approval while the interest rates are low. While the interest rates are low. If you have any questions, you can call or text me 404-819-4495. Single family housing starts. As you can see, there has been an uptick and single family housing being built. Now, we're kind of, moving slowly with the single family homes, any homes really, because of the supplies. And so because of that, that still has not stopped people from wanting the American dream of home ownership. So single family housing, they keep building it in every pocket that they can build. They're trying. The issue is the supplies, but building is still in full force. They're doing new construction in my neighborhood. I walk past a house and they're building on it every day. So I just wanted to let you guys know and make you aware that new homes are still being built. Do not get discouraged. Homes are coming back on the market. So if you missed everything the first time, don't worry, because guess what? You'll be able to get in on the housing. Industrial production. We did a dip in January, but as you can see, just like with the housing starts, all of that is coming up. And then the consumer price index, I think that was probably the biggest jump I've seen in a while. The interest rates are going down, but the prices are going up. So you guys got to understand the relation that this has. When you have the lower interest rates, you have the higher prices. When you have the higher interest rates, you have the lower prices. So let that minister to your spirit that if you are in the market to purchase a home, I need you to go get pre-qualified. Email us info@trishsalesatl.com so that we can get you connected with one of our lender partners. We work with several. So I don't just work with Wells Fargo. I actually work with the mortgage broker who has the capacity to see all of the interest rates and all of the things that every bank is offering. So if you are in the market to purchase a home, please send us an email. Call or text me, 404-819-4495. I put the links to this newsletter in the Facebook chat, so you should be able to see it. Thank you to our lender partner, Michelle Preston with Wells Fargo mortgage loan. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to my credit specialist, my credit guru. When we try to get you guys pre-qualified and, we may have a roadblock that says, hey, we need to work on some credit things, I send you to Brianna Savage. And let me tell you, just like her name says, Savage, she is a savage when it comes to this credit, y'all. So I, without further ado, want to introduce you guys to the Trish Sales ATL credit specialist who will be talking with us today about credit. She will be answering all of your questions, your concerns. I need you to put your questions in the comment section. Brianna can see them. So she has 4 questions that we're going to talk about in detail. And at the end, we're going to be answering your questions. So if you want to go ahead and get them in the chat, go ahead and get them in the chat right now. We are able to see it. For Instagram, I'll type them in on the platform that we're on so Brianna can answer those questions for you. Welcome, Brianna.
Hello. Can you hear me okay, Trish?
I can hear you great. Awesome. I'm so happy to see you to answer these credit questions. Girl, they be, Trish, what about this? And I'm like, oh, I got to get you over to Brianna. That's not my lane. So please introduce yourself and tell everybody just what you do, how you do it, and take it from there.
Absolutely. So first, I want to give it back to you most definitely for even allowing me on your platform. And I love what you do every week. You just create value and you offer value to your community week after week, consistent and persistent in everything that you do. That just shows, guys, how persistent and consistent. And I love to do business with professionals just like Trish. I have my hands in quite a few things. I am a realtor as well, and I service a couple of markets up in the north, service New York, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. But I found the need that a lot of people purchase homes, but they don't have the credit. And I'm sure Trish can attest to that as well. And that shouldn't limit you from purchasing a house. So I created a business where I have the opportunity able to help those people. So that's all I am in it for. I come from an educational background and I'm an educational type of person. And I just like sharing what I know with the mass majority and our people.
Yes.
So
that's awesome, Brianna. And this is also my up north referral partner, guys. So we believe in KW worldwide. You know, we have businesses, but they're powered by Keller Williams. So with that being said, this is my referral partner. So if somebody is moving to Atlanta or somebody is moving from Atlanta to New York or Connecticut, I'm calling Brianna because I know she's going to take care of you twofold. Credit and with making sure that you can get your home purchased. So
Appreciate it.
No problem.
So if you wouldn't mind just reading some of the first question, and then I can answer it and offer value that way, like a little tag team. I think that would be great.
So if y'all have any questions, drop them in the comments. Kia says, hello. Kia is actually one of our buyers, Trish Sales Atlanta buyers, that she just got her pre-approval. She has an opportunity to increase that, you know. And if you have any questions, Kia, let us know. But hi, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm honored as your realtor that you dropped in, you know, on today to talk credit with us. Anybody on Instagram? And I'm looking at my phone, my other phone. You know, you got to be multi-talented here because Instagram doesn't let you stream yet. So we make it work though, right? IG, we make it work. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to pull Nigel on because he is our buyer's agent. And so a lot of times, and Kia does have a question. We're going to pull it up. A lot of times, buyers may have questions, and they're asking us when they actually need to be asking Brianna. So Kia does have a question, and I'll put it on the screen. Are you able to see it, Brianna?
Yes. So she says, I need to find a way to work off my credit card charge-offs. So Trish, maybe you can help me with this, because one thing is you can't be in the process of purchasing a home and repairing your credit, because it's going to show on your credit report as a dispute. So we don't want that to happen. So if you already got a pre-approval issued, then I probably would say let's work it after you purchase the home, because then we can handle that and tackle it. But I assume if they issued you a pre-approval, then you qualify for that home with the items that you currently have on your credit report. But to answer the question for somebody else who may have a similar question, so working off the credit card charge-off. So a charge-off is oftentimes a write-off from whoever that creditor was. So they took a loss, they wrote off that on their taxes, and what happens is these third-party people buy that debt. So sometimes they buy those. Technically, we never entered into an agreement with those third-party people. So with that being said, there's oftentimes ground for removal on your credit report because it's most likely going to be unverifiable. So when we send out a letter and we dispute that item, they're not going to be able to show us the original documentations of the agreement that you had because they never buy that part of it. So it can be done. It has been done. If you want to reach out to me, I can show you plenty of results that we've gotten our clients with charge-offs and things in that nature.
Yeah, so Kia, I know you've already been pre-approved, but when you have your pre-approval, what you don't want to do is dispute it. So I think, you know, if you have some things on there you maybe need to pay down, you can do that, you know, just to kind of lower your utilization. That can be done, but you don't want to do anything like dispute it, especially when you've already been pre-approved. Because when they pre-approve you, lenders don't like disputes. The underwriter is like, no, they're screaming. They're jumping up and down saying no. So that is a great question. And for somebody that's going to come back and watch the replay who may have some credit card charge-offs, I think that is going to definitely benefit you. So a few other questions. Do we have any in the comment section? Kia said, let's see what she said. Kia said, okay, thanks you. I should hold off on disputes now. That is correct. So another common question that sellers, I'm saying sellers, Lord, I have seller brain, y'all, because of this market. Forgive me. One of the things that, people who may be looking to purchase a home, and they may not have, credit challenges, but for the ones that do, they may ask the question, why is my credit considered bad? So Brianna, can you, I guess, expound on that question about how credit is looked at, what is negative and positive credit, and how do we get to the point where credit is not favorable for a person?
Yep. So credit is a tricky thing. Even though I'm an expert, it's never a one size fits all. And in any industry, when there's not a one size fits all, it can become complex. So to break it all down in the easiest way, credit is made up of 5 different elements. So you have payment history. Payment history is 35% of your credit, made up of your credit profile. Then you have utilization. That's another 30%. So if you straight off the bat just pay your bills on time and keep your credit cards down, then there's a possibility that you would have a better credit profile. Then the third one is length of credit. Your length of credit is 15%. So, if you are newer at having credit, you're not, the likelihood is you're not going to have a perfect score. When a person opens up that first credit card, just because they're paying their bills on time and they have great utilization, they don't straight out the gate have an 850. That's just not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Then 10% is new credit. So when you open up new credit cards, new lines of credit, rule of thumb is that most of the times qualifying the last 24 months on your credit history weighs the heaviest. So whatever you've done in the last 2 years weighs the heaviest on your credit score. And then lastly is mix of credit. 10% of that is the mix of credit you have. So there's 2 types of trade lines. There's revolving, which is your credit cards. And then there's installments, which are student loans, mortgages, car loans, things in that nature that make up the mix of credit. So when you all calculate that together, that's 100% of how your credit profile is looked at.
Got it. And I'm just typing in some notes into the chat on Facebook, just with some of the things that you said. And so what is the percentage for the length of credit? Like, what's the percentage?
15%.
15%. That's the one I don't think I caught for length of credit. We got some notes going in here too. And the last 2 years weighs the heaviest on your score. So those last 2 years, y'all, weigh the heaviest. You said 10% is new credit. And revolving and installment is how much of the credit, or mix of credit?
Mix of credit. Yep, it's 10% as well. So those last 2 are both 10%.
Gotcha. I got that in the notes, guys. I'm taking notes for y'all today. Mix of credit is 10%. So that's awesome. So when they look at that, and these are the determining factors, everyone. We don't make the rules, the banks and the credit agencies. And then tell them the difference, because I know we have like a Vantage score. And then we have like our regular credit score. So talk a little bit about how that impacts when you're trying to purchase a home.
Yeah. So when you're trying, believe it or not, you have several different scores. You have basically a mortgage score, insurance score, and employment score. There's all types of little mixes and nuance when it comes to credit. But the main ones that consumers focus on is the Vantage score and then the FICO score. So most of the time when you're purchasing big ticket items like a car or a house, they're using the FICO score side of it. So the Vantage score is more or less what you see on Credit Karma. Most people have misconceptions, but that score you see on Credit Karma is in fact your score, but it's the Vantage score portion of it. So I've seen between FICO and Vantage, just from there's no rule of thumb again, but just from my experience, where they have a score on Credit Karma and then I look on their FICO, usually it's like 30 to 40 points difference. But again, there's not a science to it, but that's
Okay.
just what I have seen on a consistent basis.
Okay. So no exact science, but as you guys can hear, you have several different scores when it comes to employment, probably purchasing a car, because I've seen, just different. When you're purchasing a home, all of those things, can kind of have varying factors. So one of the biggest questions that we are always asked, and Nigel just joined us, and we'll bring him in for the questions because I know he receives a lot of questions as a buyer specialist on, credit. One of the biggest questions is, how do I increase my score? How do we increase the scores, Brianna? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's a big question because, again, like I said, there's not one thing. But if you do these couple of things, I promise you that your score probably will increase.
I'm typing out notes.
it goes back to just focusing on those 5 elements. So we're going to focus on establishing a good limit of credit. So leaving those old trade lines open. So a lot of times when I'm disputing on my client's credit report, they want to get rid of their student loans. And we'll talk about what you can get deleted later on. But student loans is one of those items. But the truth of the matter is your student loan is the oldest credit line, trade line that you had open. So why would you close that? So we're going to lose all of those years of that history. So 1, establishing a good limit of credit, focusing on the last 24 months of what's on your credit profile, making sure it's clean, making sure that your credit profile, every once in a while, checking up on it. Right now, you can go on annualcreditreport.com, and because of the pandemic, you can check it every week for free. It used to be normally once a year. You can go on there and just look at your credit profile. But because so many identities are being stolen during this time, they have done us a solid and allowed us to check it every week. So if you really want to be antsy about it, I'll give you an assignment. Go on annualcreditreport.com, annualcreditreport.com.
The link is in the chat. I put it in there for you guys.
Yep.
Annual credit report, and it's a live link. So once you click it, you're on the website.
Right. So you go in there, you put in all your information, and they're going to spit back to you Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and you can get all copies of your credit reports. I'm not going to give you a credit score because there's a misconception. Your credit score is different from your credit report. It's 2 different things. So look at that and take a look and highlight those things and just take note, because I'm going to go over some of the items that you can dispute later on, but highlight those things and understand what items can come off your credit report. I believe
Kia
has another question.
Yes, ma'am. She says, is it beneficial to get a credit rebuilding credit card or no?
So so that is in lines of this question as well. If you don't have any credit, yes, getting a secure credit card is beneficial. My company has one that's pretty solid, and almost everybody that we put it through gets pre-approved for that. So I can share that information later on. I could get you a link for that. And or you could just use anyone. I know Capital One to be a great one. A lot of people use that, and just knowing that when you get those secure credit cards, whatever your limit is, so if you're doing a $200 limit, you have to put up the capital first. So they're going to ask you for a $200 deposit. And with good behavior, most cases, they'll change that over.
You went out a little bit, Brianna. Okay, you went out a little bit, but I think you
yes, it is beneficial to do that as
Yes, it was kind of going in and out, but I can hear you now. But if you could repeat, because I know you mentioned Capital One. If you mentioned any other ones, we didn't hear it. But I did put in the notes that secure credit cards are great.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Capital One is a great one. How are you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear
Okay, we
me
can
now?
hear you now, Brianna. Yes. Can you hear
And
it?
I was just
Mm-hmm.
sharing that whatever you put up, so they're going to ask you to put a deposit up front. I think it's just a little.
Got it. So yeah, I have seen those cards, Kia, to answer your question as well. Where you have to put up, some of them do 2, some do 5. It just depends. But you would put the capital up, and like Brianna was saying, when you have good behavior, then they transition that into an unsecured card. So thank you so much for your question. This is good stuff. This is stuff that is on the minds of the people. I'm certain. So one of the burning questions, other than trying to increase the score, is also how to get collections off of your credit.
Yes.
Brianna, did you hear?
Am I good? Can you still hear me?
It's a slight delay. So after I asked the question about how to get collections off of credit, it was just a little delayed. Kia says yes.
Okay.
So we're okay.
So with the dispute letter, you hire yourself. There's no misconception. Just like anything else, any professional avenue, most of the time it's a DIY will also go in. And with that being said, online for you to be able to get templates to letters, dispute those items off your credit report rather. So once you do that first assignment that I told you to highlight all those items that are on there, and we're going to go over what items those are, you can print out a letter, and there's templates all online to guide you exactly what you need to do. But those that want to know exactly what am I supposed to put in the letter, I want to have my hand held, then that's where the services come in, and that you're able to have that offered up to you.
Absolutely. And a big, huge question: what items can be disputed? What are our items that can be disputed?
This is for one question. Everybody wants to know, right? Let's spill the tea, Trish. Let's let everybody know what it is that can't be disputed off your credit report. Let's go. So we got bankruptcies, we got late fees, we got loans, we got child support. I'm probably going too fast for you, but we got evictions, medical bills, repossessions. About any and everything could be disputed off your credit report, to be honest. The way it works with the Fair Credit Reporting Act is anything that's inaccurate, unverifiable, or incomplete on your credit report is removable off of your credit report. And we just have a system that we do and we put in place to help it happen a little bit faster for our clients. But again, it's something that you could do on your own.
Wow. Your system is proven. So I would advise you guys to definitely get with Brianna. I'm going to pull Nigel in because I'm certain that he has some questions, because as I said, he's kind of on the flip end of the coin working with the buyers directly. So I'm certain they have burnt his ears up with questions regarding credit. Nigel is our buyer specialist, our Trish Sales Atlanta buyer specialist. He is the feet on the ground with, showings and just being that bridge and liaison with, real estate and the showings and, helping them just decide on, hey, this is the house that I think is going to be the one. So Nigel, tell us, or if you have any questions that, typically buyers are asking you regarding credit.
Okay, first I want to say good afternoon. It's very nice to meet you, and I really do appreciate you taking your time to come and, help our viewers get a little more insight as far as credit goes. I really do appreciate you. So one of the main questions I think that we have seen, a lot is mainly the time that it actually takes to get to a credit score necessary to actually buy a home, because everybody is looking at this market and it's like we don't know how long it's going to be like this. I want to jump on it right now, but a lot of people, what's deterring them is their credit score being a certain way and them thinking that they actually won't get the credit score necessary in the amount of time it takes to actually acquire the house that they actually want. Or to catch the wave of home buyers that's going on right now. So as far as time, how would you go about answering that question if a buyer asked me that question?
Yeah, absolutely. So time, that's the thing everybody wants to know. So with credit, just so to elaborate a little bit more, especially when people have those negative items and we send out those letters, it takes 45 days from us to get a response from those three credit bureaus. So just alone, I send letters today. I'm not hearing until the end of August, maybe September. So sometimes that's the challenge alone. Most of the time, what I would recommend is, we all know that for FHA, you can get qualified with some lenders with a 580 credit score. Would we recommend it? All professionals say no. We would not. But if it's a do or die situation, of course, I would say yes. But if it's an optional type of thing, absolutely not. Don't do it. Don't set yourself up for it. Your interest rate is going to be bizarre. And in addition to that, they may ask you for additional things. And they're going to look at you under a fine tooth comb, because right now, based upon what I can see, credit, let's go back to this. Credit equals credibility, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at your credit, and based upon what I see, I may or may not get my money back. So with that being said, these lenders want more collateral. They want more of this. They question more or less those items that come up on your under the underwritten approval and things like that. So
that was a good one, Brianna. Credit equals credibility. I had to post that one.
You can do it.
Yeah, I feel like I need to tweet that.
Yeah. So
we don't know. You can, but is it wise to do it with a 580? That's the question. We know as real estate professionals that your credit score is going to be sky high, and the underwriter is going to drag you. We're just going to be honest here. They're going to, because you have to understand the underwriter's responsibility is to look at you with a fine tooth comb, because they're protecting the assets of the bank. They can get in trouble, if they, don't do their due diligence. So understand what's at stake here. So it is advisable to get a lower interest rate. We can do a 580. I told you guys I have a mortgage broker. He's the bomb. So he looks at various financial institutions. But once you start getting up to like the 640, you start getting a little bit lower interest rate. Of course, the higher your score, the lower the interest rate. So Nigel, what are some other questions, that they're burning your ears with?
For the most part, that question is the main one, the time. You see what I'm saying? But I know that I have gotten a couple of inquiries about couples who one has a decent credit score, the other one doesn't, right? And then it becomes a situation where, Do I want to put this other person, my wife or my husband, on the loan with me, even though my credit score is good and theirs is not as good? So how is that? I'm not sure if you can answer that question, but how
Yeah,
would that be tackled?
because I promote that all the time to my clients, because for whatever reason we're taught that both individuals need to be on the loan. Because with my credit repair, we also talk about financial literacy as well. We're not just credit repair. I teach you how to be financially lit. So with that being said, if one individual can qualify by themselves and they have the credit score, why do I need to be on the loan? My husband qualifies. Why do I need to be on the loan? I can be on the deed, and that's good to know. You can be added to the deed and not be on the loan. So, with that being said, most of the time I tell them, why not buy a house with just you? And then, in addition to that, later on, let's lose FHA and get you a house and let it become an investment property or something in that nature. So by all means, both of the people do not need to be on a.
Yes, and actually, and Brianna, we have the same line of thinking when it comes to that, because too, you have to think about this, and this is what I tell couples, if they're getting married, they're married, because some of them it's like a power thing, like both of the people got to be financially responsible, or I'm only financially responsible, so that means they get to skate on it. Those are the questions. But when you use wisdom and you're thinking about this. If you're like, let's say we have a couple and you have a husband and wife, they just got married, they don't have children. That's one of the largest impacts on a marriage is when you start bearing children. So let's say both husband and wife were on the loan because, a lot of times they want a bigger house. They want this, mega mansion or whatever, right? But when you're first starting out and you don't have children, you got to kind of factor all of those into the picture. And from my understanding, when it comes to daycare, it's, for a newborn, it's like, anywho, but if you have both incomes and you qualify for this loan, and let's say you have a baby, and then all of a sudden the wife says, I want to stay at home with the baby. Well, what about the mortgage? Because both of you guys qualify for it. So even if you send the baby to school, now you have an additional expense for daycare. So it would be wise. And I just remember back in the day, my grandparents and all of that, it was advantageous for them to get and secure a home loan with one income. So that way nobody was overextended. And then we have to look at sickness, because we're in the world of a global pandemic, it's real. In a world where we are battling cancer, it's real. Right. And those are just two majors, but we also have other little ailments that prevent people from being able to function. Mental illness is on the rise. And so with that being said, if you have two people that are on a loan, they both are financially responsible for it, and you've overextended yourself, that kind of puts you in that red position of not being able to keep your home. And so I advise, just as a business professional who has been in the game for a while, that you let that one person, and then like Brianna said, once the other person gets their credit up, then guess what? They can buy some income property, and let it be making income. And then you all put that in your savings, or, you invest it in another property. But that's the financial literacy piece that I absolutely love about Brianna, and just that mode of thinking to help our clients not only, just purchase a home, but just have that financial foundation, from the very beginning. So, that's a great question. I see it all the time. I've seen husband and wives fighting over power when it's not really about power. It's about putting yourself in a good financial position so that if something happens, that you're covered. And so when they ask you that question, Nigel, because it's a lot of I'm in the millennial group. What is it? I can't even keep up with all the different groups. But I'm an '80s baby. But I do believe that when you purchase a home, it should be on that one income, and whoever has the best credit, that's gonna save you in the long run, because that's the less money on the interest rate, rather you trying to drag somebody onto a loan just so they can feel like they're a part of it, and you can just put their name on the deed. It's called the rights of survivorship, so they can't sell the house without you. And that's something that it's an additional fee when at the closing table, but it's worth it. And it's cheaper than a higher interest rate. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. So great question. Any other questions? I don't see any more on Facebook. I don't see any on Instagram.
Trish, I just have one more question. Just talking about investors. So I know that we said the 580 was kind of the rule of thumb for FHA, for first time home buyers or whatever. So when we're talking about investors, right, who are trying to get a loan for an investment property, what type of credit score is necessary in order to get approved for an investment loan? When you already have your own personal property. So you have your own personal property, you already have a mortgage, right? A personal mortgage and I also want to do, renovate a house or, do whatever, Airbnb or whatever,
like a money loan is what you're saying.
Roger that.
Brianna, do you know anything about, those hard money loans and the qualifications?
So the hard money loans, I know a hard money lender that will loan with a 650. It really depends on the hard money lender. What are their terms? How much experience you have? Those loans start to get a little bit different when it comes to qualifications. I was trying. I personally was looking at a hard money lender for one of my investment properties for flip and rehab, and they were trying to charge me about $20,000 down. Just no matter how much it costs, they wanted that. Pay your own closing costs, and then in addition to that, they wanted a certain credit score. So it depends on the lender on that one.
You got it.
And that one is asset-based lending. I think they lend in Georgia as well.
Okay.
So and they lend specifically on the asset, and that's the only hard money lenders that I based off of, because if the house makes sense and it's gonna make dollars, like Trish says, then they're gonna lend on it. So this lending is where it's at.
Yes, and I'm gonna post that asset-based lending to my investors, my investor wannabes, to my people who you may have a home, like we have family property that it needs to be rehabbed. Asset-based lending.
I'm hopping on their site right now just to double check that they lend in your area.
I'm jumping on to, and if they do, then we can definitely hit the link. I'll put the link in the chat. I have abl1.net.
Yeah, it looks like you guys, Florida, they will lend on. It doesn't look like they lend there, but I'll call and find out if that's in the works.
But we have realtor partners everywhere. So I know a lot of people, they want to lend. I mean, they may want to flip like in Florida. That's one of the places that a lot of people from Florida are coming back and forth to Georgia. So that may be beneficial to someone who wants to invest in property, since Florida is one of our border states. And so if we don't have any more questions, we're at minute 54. And, I love to make good use of our time. I don't have any more questions, Brianna. I just want to publicly thank you and appreciate you for just taking on the Trish Sales ATL clients. Everybody that comes to me, they don't automatically get pre-approved, y'all. Like it's not, but my desire has always been to help my community. And because real estate is not something that me growing up in inner city Atlanta, that we have had enough conversations about among our community. And part of that too is because of the financial literacy piece. So with that being said, it was one of my greatest desires to have a credit specialist on my team that was reachable, touchable, who would be able to assist you guys with the financial credit literacy piece. So thank you, Brianna Savage, for literally cutting, talking to, clients, for getting them on the program. And yes, y'all, let me tell you guys something, because, I hear people, y'all want to do free all the time. You have to invest in yourself. When I'm on this platform every Wednesday, my friends, it is not free. It is not. I'm investing in you guys by investing in Trish Sales Atlanta to bring you the information and knowledge needed so that you can make an informed real estate decision. That's my forever purpose and mission for you guys. Like Brianna, my background is too in education, and seeing it having worked even in the school system. And I see our children talking about being a millionaire, but they don't understand you can't get up at 12 p.m. and think you're going to make it happen. So with that being said, I need you guys to invest in yourself. Just like when you want to go out somewhere and you're going to invest in those Louboutins that hurt your feet, they hurt your pinky toe. Y'all will go buy those, but you will not invest in your credit. Let me tell you guys, I'm going to be very transparent here as a realtor. I saw some things on my credit, and my birthday gift to myself was to pay it. Hey, that's on here, that's on there. We're not finna have this on there. So I invested in me to say, no, I want to be able, because when you're building a business, guess what? I have a business credit score, and then I got my personal credit score, right? Brad and Dunn Street, do y'all hear me? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you have to invest in yourself. When I do consulting and training, when I tell you my prices are so nominal, but guess what? That's to get you in the habit of investing in yourself, because you are utilizing someone's time. We have to get out of the mentality for free. Because a lot of times when things are, when it's free, you're not getting all the information, and it may not be what's best for you. So y'all know I'm going to keep it real with y'all, because I love you. Like, for real. Not the Monique for real, which, no pun intended. But I have been doing this for 13 years, and I see the disparity within our culture. So I want to see you guys win. So that's why we do this. That's why I bring you the market stats, so you understand the real estate lingo. Even if you're listening to it, and let's say your kid is listening to it, and then they all of a sudden become interested in what's an investor, what's a hard money loan, and then they grow up and they're talking about real estate. My children.
What's so crazy, Trish?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off. I just wanted to say this before I slipped my mind, but I know that there's definitely a huge disconnect with the importance of credit and us. I think that growing up, because I'm 33, I didn't take my credit seriously until a few years ago. And by that time I was looking at my credit score and I almost cried. Because I'm like, once I understood what credit actually meant, and I saw where I was a few years ago, and it's because growing up, there's not that much emphasis put on the importance of credit until you get to an adult. And by that time, a lot of the times, it's pretty much too late to get the car that you want, or the house that you want, or even the store car that you want. So it's definitely important to make sure that you're metastasizing, just us as individuals, as an adult, as adults, metastasizing this information to our youth, so they don't grow up and put themselves in the same position that a lot of our parents, grandparents had to endure because poor credit.
You're absolutely right. And one of the things that I saw was, when a child turns 18, they say they're grown.
Mm-hmm.
What they are, and I had this conversation with my recent high school graduate who just turned 18, and we talk credit because now that mama knows, I'm going to put you on game because that's my responsibility to you. One, a child, because they're 18, and I ain't trying to get in nobody's house, but I'm just going to keep it real. They're not grown. What they are is legal. So what that means is when you put these things on your credit, you are legally responsible for it. If you get a ticket from driving, you're legally, it's no more mama, it's on mama, it's on you. So with that, I've always asked my son to protect your credit. One, don't allow everybody to see your credit. Your social security number. Keep it under wraps. You're going to have websites that say type it, don't do it. When he gets a credit card thing that comes to my house, I put it in the shredder. I shred it. Why? First and foremost, he's going to be an authorized user on my credit cards to build his credit because I know that I'm going to handle business. Now, if he goes out there free willy-nilly and he has a card, he's going to do what I did in college.
Swipe.
I had my identity stolen in college. Someone got a $10,000 American Express card.
Oh, wow.
But guess what I was doing? They would have all of these booths set up and say, put in your information and you'll get a free t-shirt. So I was like, oh, let me go here, let me go there to get my free t-shirt. And it cost me. So I had to get that disputed from my credit. So going through that type of experience made me wisen up with my children. They had, I had them on my Experian account. So if anybody even remotely tried to put their social security numbers in anything, I was going to get an alert. You know what I'm saying? So you have to teach them, and then you teach them about making wise financial choices. I got my son a bank account when he was 12 at Wells Fargo to teach him how to manage his money. I grew up with a parent that was save your money and don't spend a dollar. That's not the way of the world. You know, you have to teach children how to manage their money. And so these are the conversations that we must have with youth. And even when I'm in an arena, like I spoke at Odyssey Atlanta. And one of the things that I told them was about the importance of learning how to manage your money now. So that when you get older and you start acquiring more money, that you have the money there, you're not acquiring a whole lot of debt. And that you're going to need those funds. I said, now with the seller's market, you need closing costs. It's no down payment assistance. And if it is, the seller's going to overlook your offer because they don't want to wait. But this goes back to managing your money. This goes back to putting yourself in a position where you have a higher credit score so you can get a lower interest rate. And it's no judgment, but it's our responsibility to teach the youth so that we can break that cycle so that they're coming in, because it's a lot of stuff that we didn't know. I lived in my grandparents' house my entire life. So, in the house that my dad purchased, he used it as investment property. So growing up, I never thought about, how did we stay in this house? How are we living here? I never had that question. I honestly, to this day, I'm just like, I was so oblivious to what it took to purchase, homes and investment property. So that's conversations when we're talking to children who now, we used to want to be like doctors and lawyers growing up, but now we see African-American doctors and lawyers. So now you have a lot of children, they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be go-getters. And so we have to teach them too about that, the Brad and Dunn Street numbers as well. That's going to help your business get credit. And so those are the conversations that we have to have as we are examples to the community. And that's one thing you always going to catch Trish with some youth to pull them in and reach back for what I didn't get. One of my goals is to be to them what I didn't have. And so we have to teach them and teach them in a way that's on their level. They say, bruh, they on TikTok and all of that. I love to watch TikTok, but being on TikTok, I don't like. But I did that to bridge that gap because I want them to know. I'll be putting clips of this on TikTok so that they know and understand that, you know, you want to be a go-getter, baby, your day start at 5 a.m. Sometimes it starts at 4. I get normally during the regular school year, 4:30.
3:30.
Shine, baby. You know, but that's going to help improve even your financial literacy. It's called a discipline, because if you're disciplined with things like that, you become disciplined in your financial life. You become disciplined with your eating habits. You become disciplined on your job. So those are the things that, you know, credit, when that's why that nugget that Brianna said is credit equals credit worthiness. That's in everything that you do. That's not just with your credit score. So I just, you know, had to have my 2 cents on that, y'all. I'm sorry. But we just have to pull them up because I want to see them succeed. You know, we're in a environment in this world where we got to pull up our youth and we got to tell them the business, you know, and we got to give to them what we didn't get. So we can sit here and talk all day about how we didn't know. But now that we do know,
we got to make sure everybody else knows.
When you know better, you got to do better.
That's correct. My son is a whiz at math. And so one of the things that I had him do for summer, he was my intern. I said, okay, come on, do this QuickBooks. He was done in 2 weeks, something that I can do in a year. You know what I'm saying? He was done in 2 weeks. I'm like, sir, don't you know this could be your mini business? You know? So as he's getting adjusted to college, I was even telling him, I said, I'm going to buy you a big thing of Tide Pods. But when your friends start saying, let me hold a Tide Pod, you need to start charging them $1. I said, I guarantee you, if you sell, it's how many Tide Pods in there? 104. That's $104. If you say I charge you $1 per Tide Pod because you forgot your care package didn't arrive or all of that. What is $1? You know what I'm saying? So it's just for them to have that mindset that you can make this work. He's phenomenal at math. He can be a tutor. It's just his teaching. He can't really teach it, but brilliant. But we have to bridge that gap with them so we can bridge the wealth gap. Yeah. So we can bridge that wealth gap. Like we gotta, you know, be there, be present. We can't be like our parents. Like my dad was like, figure it out. You know how to do it. You got the brain to do it. So it's a lot of things that I did. And it's a lot of things that I let my children figure out. But I realized too that you have to kind of hold their hand and then pull back slowly. That's one of the strategies that's used in the curriculum in Georgia schools. You know, they give it to them and then they give it to them again. They start pulling back so that they can start learning how to think through, you know, the complexity of what the curriculum may be giving them. So, you know, today was beautiful, you guys. We got to do this again. I typically only do credit once per year. I do it once per year, and I normally do it at the beginning of the year. But with the pandemic, you know, things have changed. But I would love to do this again towards the end of the year as people kind of, they may or may not be listening. I'll kind of, you know, do an analysis, especially with this ever-changing market. But around the first of the year is always good because people are setting goals. They're saying they want to purchase a home. What is that I need to do? So typically January is our credit month, and I may leave it because I want them to really be paying attention. And then we maybe do a refresher mid-year, especially some people's fiscal year is July. So, you know, they may get a new job or they may get a new raise. So we want to make sure that we are helping those people too. So thank you guys so much for your time. Trish Says Atlanta is always indebted to the people who make it happen, who push us along. Nigel, thank you so much for working with our buyers. They have nothing but great things to say about you. And it took me so long to pull somebody on my team because, you know, Trish Says Atlanta is my baby. And so we will officially be a team soon. We're still working on it, but it will be likely Trish Says Atlanta Real Estate Group as we continue to power forward to assist everyone. I want to share with you guys one thing before we go. I'm going to share my screenie over here. I received something in my mailbox yesterday, and it had been a while since I had been to my office because we are typically feet on the ground. Y'all see Brianna on there? Me and Nigel, but this is what I got on yesterday. Let me make it bigger. Whoop. Just zoomed in, y'all. But this is what I got. And I could not do it without you guys. I could not do it without my clients. I could not do it without the good Lord. And I just could not do it if it wasn't for, my past clients, my referrals, like my referral partners. Thank y'all so much. Brianna, thank you for pulling folks through the trenches so that they're able to purchase a home. Nigel, this is what, this is just with me by myself. So, we got to double this thing. It's double or nothing on this, but
yeah, you already know.
yeah. And I always say, I haven't even posted this yet, but I just thought to do it now. And it's just so dedicated to my children because they're the one that they sacrifice. They see mommy working, but they understand the greater good. But, I do this because I want to see people win. I want to see them owning a home. And so we make sure that we have things in place to assist them with it. So just wanted to share this with you guys. I'll post it. Thank you, Kia. I appreciate you trusting us to help you on your home search. And Kia is just now starting, but we are going to get her done. So we are going to end today's live. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, Nigel, so much for tuning in and jumping on live with us. If anybody has any questions, you can always drop them in the comment section. We can see them. We can answer them. So please don't feel, if you're watching it on the replay and you have a question, put it on the live so that way we can see it, or you can email us at info@trishsalesatl.com. You can call or text me. This is my direct business cell phone number. It is 404-819-4495. Please do not forget to like our Facebook page, Trish Sales ATL. Hit the like button so that way you're getting the notifications when we come on live. We also have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe, Trish Sales Atlanta. Last but not least, we have Instagram, IG. All my handles are at TrishSalesATL.com, including Twitter. Yes, we're on Twitter. We are on Twitter, and we are also on TikTok. And the handle is at TrishSalesATL. So thank you guys so much, and have a beautiful rest of the day.
Whether you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home,
Trish Sales ATL can help.
with the current Atlanta real estate market, buyer and seller opportunities are better than ever.
Thank y'all so much, but I'll take it from here. Sellers, this is your market. It's time for you to get off of that fence and put your home on the market and get it sold to my buyers who are waiting for you to list your home. I'd love to earn your business, so please give Trish a call at Keller Williams Realty Buckhead, 404-604-3800.
Or text or call 404-819-4495.
Please also visit my website at TrishSalesATL.com. Let's talk about how I can assist you with achieving your real estate goals and making your dreams a reality.
List your house with our mommy at TrishSalesATL.com.